Greetings. My name is Dave Fowler. We're going to talk today about designing around the workstation. So, when I design a kitchen, I always design around workstations, and that's how I sell the kitchen also. So, if we take a look at this particular design, right, we look at the workstations, and I'm going to cover them one by one. So basically what we're doing here is and I'm going to go actually to a line drawing, which is going to be right here. Okay. So when you look at this, it's going to take a while to come in. When you're at the sink, a couple of questions you're going to ask. Number one, is it a farm sink or is it a regular undermount sink? Most people are going with undermount and most people are going with a one door, but I am doing some farm sinks still. So you have to explain to them and ask them because there's a different cabinet that we need to order for a farm sink. Then the next question is I usually do a full height double trash right here. So if we take a look at this, you'll see what I mean by that. It's usually got a wood insert that you can't see here. And basically they pull that out and there's two trash cans in there. So usually I do the dishwasher on the right. I do the trash on the left. And I come over and when I'm in somebody's home, I stand at the sink and I tell them, ma'am, usually when you scrape your food and you're a right-handed person, not always right-handed, but just anybody, they usually scrape their food to the left. They rinse the dishes off, and put them in the dishwasher here on the right. And I say 80 to 90% of my people do that. Are you okay with that? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, then next step is um, let's talk about the range area. So the range area, I like to do drawer banks outside. People like to drawer banks. They want to save on their back. Usually what I do is I say we put a spice rack. Usually what I recommend to people is putting a spice rack either on the right or left, and then a regular cabinet that opens for pans that you can do vertical pans on the left or right. In this case, this is the spice rack and this is the pan storage. The other thing you're going to want to ask them, did you most refrigerate, or I mean, most ranges? So there's two things. There's a range like this. Then there's a cooktop, which is the top. And usually you put a drawer bank cabinet like this underneath, and the top drawer is usually dead. Not always, because you can get a thinner one. But anyway, long story short is that, most of these come 30 inches, which is probably the most common. 30, I'm sorry, 36 and 42 and 48. So you need to know what width they're looking at. And usually they'll tell you, well, we've been looking at, 36 inch or whatever. And then from there, you got to ask them, what are you doing in the hood area? Do you want just a standalone stainless steel hood? Do you want a cabinet above and a stainless steel hood below? Do you want the microwave below here? In this case, the microwave is over here in the island. Okay. So that's what you're going to be asking them is what do you want to do in this case? Now, if you do just a cooktop, most people want the most people want they want the actual double oven next to it. Okay, so most people want a double oven next to that. Most people have a cooktop and a double oven, and usually they sometimes put the microwave above in the double oven. Now, so these are all questions that you're going to want to ask. I'm going to put a sheet below at each station of what to ask and where they want it. Then, if we come over to the refrigerator area, you obviously have a 36.5-inch refrigerator. You have also well, I'm sorry, they come 35.5, so they're actually a 36-inch opening. You're going to usually put a panel on the side like this. I do this on almost all my kitchens, unless they want something else. And I suggest it to them. So at each workstation, you're suggesting stuff. And what I usually say is, ma'am, We bring this out for you 24 inches over the refrigerator so you can get storage up above the refrigerator. And we do a panel on the side. Then we do a pantry as well. This particular woman, we turned the pantry on its side and we're opening this up for a broom closet basically. And so she liked that idea, and that was actually her idea to do that. Then what I do is I always stagger my heights, and I'm going to get into that during the class and do crown molding and things like that. But that's kind of like designing by the workstation. Around the island, we're asking the question, what do they want to do around the island? How many people do they want to sit? We're also designing it with furniture-based molding on the bottom, and we're also, we're going to we'll do all that. But anyway, long story short is that so these are the things that you have to ask around each workstation. Once you get the main things in, like where the window is, where the sink cabinet's going to go, where the hood is, goes out the ceiling. You want to get the measurement of that to the center and that to the center. Determine where that is, and then you're going to put your hood in, and then everything is going to be centered around that. You're going to determine how much space you have with all that. Next thing I would do is put my corner cabinets in. So I put all my appliances in and where they're going, and I've measured that. I've gotten that determination, and then I design around that. So that's kind of like what dictates it. Unless you're going to move the appliances, keep in mind to move the refrigerator is about a $500 or more fee for changing the wiring and stuff like that because it is a designated line. You have to do that. And so there's certain things to consider, but we'll go into a lot of those things in our specific design class. But this here is designing by workstation. Workstation one, sink. What type of sink? Trash on the left, dishwasher on the right. Workstation two, we'll call it the cooking area. What are we going to do with the microwave? What are we going to do with the hood? All these things. What width are we talking about? And then workstation three, we've got the refrigerator, and then see the microwave here in this case is in the island. And then what we're going to do is we're going to design the island 2 feet for every person, and I have a class on this, but 2 feet for every person. So we need to ask how many people are they going to sit around the island, and what do they want to do with the island. Some people have a sink in here, so you have to figure that out. This is the other side, which is really immaterial, other than the fact that she wants pantries here and storage. And then I did some fancy stuff here for them as well with glass up above. And so anyway, but that's how this is. This is a cooler in the middle. We got two little cabinets here again, and that's how I designed this kitchen. But yeah, that's how I sell a kitchen to people. I confer at each location what they want, and I narrow that down, and then I design by that. And basically, if you look in here, this is um, my design, right? So I do elevations, I go to each one and I explain it to them, and then I go back and make my changes, and so on. And that's how I design kitchens. That's how I succeed because I'm getting a confirmation of each area, shall we say, of what they want. And then when they get it done, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's what we wanted. No, that's how we wanted it to look. Awesome." And it looks like I got a duplicate there. But anyways, and then so yeah, you're getting them to agree every step of the way. It's called workstation design. I developed the term. I don't know of anybody else using it at this point, but who knows? Maybe they'll pick up on it. You're more than welcome to, to feel free to use that term, and then that'll help you in narrowing down what the customer wants and how they want it done, and then they'll have an understanding from beginning to end. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day. And this is the class on designing and selling by workstations. Thanks.